Nick Munt with Michael Waddell's Bone Collector, and you're listening to my main man, Duran Martinez, on Wild, Michigan.
Rifle in a gun rack, hanging in the back glass, book knife on my belt, ain't no lamp for sale around here.
Welcome back to Wild, Michigan. Duran Martinez, your host on the Michigan Talk Network, brought to you in part by Lucky Buck, and the podcast driven by Lock and Load Hunting Blinds, both great Michigan companies. Thanks to Doug Roberts, another guy with a Michigan company, Conquest Sense, talking about antler growth and what we can expect and maybe some of the abnormalities of antlers in white-tailed deer. Great stuff, man. Great information. If you missed any of that, again, pick it up on our podcast, a link on our website, wildmichiganradio.com. And there's a link to BowHunterPlanet right on the front page of our website as well, where you can get all kinds of information on, new stuff, technology, products, and David Thomas with BowHunterPlanet, the test lab, on with me right now. David, welcome back, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Getting amped up, man.
I feel you.
I'm excited. September's coming. I got an elk hunt here in Michigan that, I don't know, man. It's almost been a curse to draw a tag, but I think things are kind of working their way forward.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of preparation, especially for that tag, because, you really can't not do it. You know what I mean? You have to be ready to roll. Yeah, but it blindsided me, and financially have not been ready for it whatsoever. But I think some things are working out. So, I'll leave it at that. But more importantly, let's find out what's going on with you guys at BowHunterPlanet. Look, a lot of folks now are looking for new stuff. And you guys have been reviewing stuff. What's been the most recent reviews that you've been working on? Yeah, this is the hot time. This is when people are really getting to the pro shops to try to get their product. And, we've been working pretty much overtime at this point to try to, do videos. In fact, tonight I'm editing probably 10 videos tonight just to get up there so people can see them before they go to the store to buy them. But the recent things we've done is Spot Hogg. We did Spot Hogg sights and releases, very top quality. Spot Hogg's known for being more of a premium brand, so you're going to definitely pay a little bit more, but, that sight will last you pretty much forever. They're solid sights, and they real easy to see through your peep sight, however you shoot your bow, but, furthermore, again, they use the claim bulletproof for their pins and stuff like that, and I would definitely, say that those things they'll hold up to anything. You're not going to have issues in the field with them. That's a very important thing, because that's one thing in the field you cannot have fail you. Last year I was on a bear hunt, realized, and it was not the fault of my sight. Okay, it was not the fault of my sight, but 3 shots at the same bear at 15 yards, on the ground with the bear, and I missed. Well, I realized that my sight was not tight. Not the fault of the sight, but you don't want to go cheap on things like that. No, I think that's one of the biggest problems in the industry. From even obviously I don't buy products like I used to and like that, but when I used to buy products all the time, I would always buy the cheapest thing, and I always let's just get this, let's get that, whatever, it'll work. That's not true. What I've come to learn from doing this, the BowHunterPlanet thing and the test lab, is that if you're going to do it, if you're going to go out and spend the money, you need to spend the money. Like, you got to buy the premium products, because you're not going to have an issue. There's been so many times where we have a cheap sight fail in the field, the pin breaks from a branch hitting it, it gets loose like you just described. We had one where we were pig hunting a couple years ago, and the guy kept missing left and right. We're like, what is going on? And he just kept missing. Well, it turned out the rest was loose, and it dropped in transit when we were going to and from. So, those things don't happen usually on the top quality products. And speaking of that, I recommend highly just always checking your gear. Got to check every Allen wrench, got to check everything to make sure it's tight, it's where it's supposed to be, and no issues. Because the last thing you want to have happen is go on an elk hunt and your bow fails you when you need it the most.
Yeah, or a bear hunt in Canada where you're 12 hours
away. Or a bear hunt, yeah, exactly.
But, again, Spot Hogg, what sets them apart, as far as a premium sight goes?
I would say their pin housings are really nice. It depends what you like as far as the shooter goes. Most people who want a single pin that's going to be adjustable that I've seen have usually gone with the optimizer from HHA. Great sight, but that's what they're known for, and that's what they push for. Now, every one of these bow companies now is doing an optimizer type product.
even Spot Hogg. I mean, everybody's got one, but you're going to pay a premium. They're pretty expensive, you know, and they have a lot of adjustments and dials. The one we play with was the Tommy Hogg, and it's a great product. You know, it's very solid. But again, you know, I would say the biggest thing that sets Spot Hogg apart is definitely the quality. You're going to get a top-notch product, and you're going to pay for it. You know, those are the two things I can tell you about that.
Now, we've been using, my good friend Mark Snocko and I, we've been using black gold sights exclusively for the past few years. And you know, like Spot Hogg, I'm sure, a premium price, premium sight, but the micro-adjust wheels on that thing, I don't know if you guys had a chance to play with those or not, but it's so much easier than trying to, you know, move the Allen screw up and down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Black Gold is actually one of our sponsors for our show, Bone Driven, and Black Gold has always been a premier site. We go back a long way with Black Gold, actually, and the scent they have now is one of the top picks for the Bone Driven team guys. They all want the Ascent 3-pin, and basically what that does is allows you to adjust like an optimizer, but you have 3 pins. So, you know, if you sight in 30, 40, 50, now you can drop it down to 60, 70, 80, and it's really easy to make that adjustment in the field. Those sights are top-notch. So, when you're talking top-notch quality sights, and I guess in my mind, the perception, I think of Spot Hogg, I think of Black Gold, I think of HHA. I think, you know, those are probably I would say my 3 premier, you know, that I would say if you're going to spend the money, those are worth the money. You know, those things will last you a long time and not fail you in the field.
Now, where are Spot Hogg manufactured? I know Black Gold's manufactured out west here in the United States. Where are the Spot Hogg sites manufactured?
That is a good question, and I don't know the answer to that.
No way. Did I just do that to you? Sorry.
I don't do the American-made, China-made stuff, so I don't pay attention too much, but I am looking right now for you.
Okay.
I do not see it yet.
All right. Well, you know, we at least know to look for the Spot Hogg, and I've heard of their quality.
Yeah, I would assume they're made, obviously, in America if they're as quality as they are. So,
yeah.
You know.
Now, what else have you guys been reviewing? We've got a couple minutes left in this segment, but what else have you guys covered so far?
Well, right now is the big push, the Raven Broadhead. New company to the game. Raven's got a Broadhead that looks similar to a Rage, but the main difference between this head is what they call a lever system, where instead of a slip cam, you have a lever cam, and it's basically where the blades pivot from the Broadhead. So what we found is the Broadhead is amazing. It is a great shooting Broadhead. It has a bigger head on it, so you're going to get a bigger cut. And when it makes the initial cut, you're going to get a 4-way cut. So you have the initial head that penetrates the animal. So you got, and that head's maybe a 1/4 inch on both sides, and it's like an arrow, like an Indian tip, you know, where it's got the straight triangle. Mm-hmm. And then you got the 2, you know, lever cams that are lever blades system that slips out pretty much, right? And those create a huge 2.3 inch gap. So that's something we've been playing with. We, are planning to do a couple pig hunts coming up here just to test on animals. It's not something we've been able to test yet because we just started working with it. But as far as wood goes and, you know, jugs, things like that, no issues, you know, does just as good, if not better, than everything in the market that we played with.
You know, at one point, you think, you know, where can broadheads go? Because mechanicals, there are so many different out there. It's very hard to, find what works for you. I shoot mechanical. I love mechanical broadheads. I've had great experience with Grim Reaper. I've had great experience with Rage, and even with the pivoting blade of the old Rain broadhead when they were produced here in Michigan. I guess it's fine what you like, what works for you. But at BowHunterPlanet, which is really cool, is you guys review. You beat the crap out of stuff. I'll just flat out say it that way.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. That's our mission, is to really just, some products we don't. Obviously, we just show you guys the products firsthand. Some products we specialize in doing the dirty work on them, and some companies want that, so sometimes it's a little bit different. Like Gerber knives or, something like that. They want you to take it to the max, just
sure.
So they can make sure it's going to not fail in the field. And really, and some of that stuff, it's never seen, to be honest, by the consumers. Some stuff, it's just completely not even marketing testing. I'd say more engineering testing.
Okay, hold that thought.
Video, send it in.
Okay, hold that thought, David. Sorry, we'll be right back. Speaking with Dave Thomas from BowHunterPlanet right here on Wilds, Michigan.
You can send your suggestions, comments, or questions to us here via email at outdoormailbag@gmail.com. Now, back to Wild Michigan.
Turn the quiet up, turn the noise down, let this old world just spin around.
Welcome back to Wild Michigan. Duran Martinez, your host on the Michigan Talk Network, brought to you in part by Lucky Buck. Podcast driven by Lock and Load Hunting Blinds. Both great companies out of Michigan, Southern Michigan to be exact. Real quickly, before we get back into David Thomas from BowHunterPlanet, I want to throw a quick thank you out to our friend Vicki Warner from the Hiawatha Sportsman's Club up in Nobbin Way, Michigan, the top of the lake. Vicki will be leaving the Hiawatha Sportsman's Club. I'm very sad to say she has been instrumental in starting and pushing and organizing the Sportsman's Triathlon that many of my friends and you listeners have participated over the past 5 years. She's going to be moving on to a new position in Texas with an outfitter down there. And I cannot express to you how sad I am that Vicki is leaving, but yet excited for her new venture. She has been tireless with this event, the Sportsman's Triathlon at the Hiawatha Sportsman's Club. She will be dearly missed by myself, by thousands of other people that have had the opportunity to be a part of that event. A great event every year for the past 5 years. I've been very fortunate to participate in 4 of them, and very thankful for her friendship of she and her son Jim and all the people that I have met up in Nobbin Way and the surrounding area because of Vicki. Thank you, Vicki, for everything that you have done for this great state and the outdoors industry in general. And we look forward to keeping up with you in Texas. So that is our personal thank you, and much love to our friend Vicki Warner from the Hiawatha Sportsman's Club. Moving on to Texas here in about a month, but she will be greatly missed. But looking forward to talking to her and find out how the Youper is doing down in Texas. That is going to be great. Back with David Thomas, BowHunterPlanet.com is the website where you can pick up on all of the information that we're talking about here, the test lab stuff, find out what they're up to. David, we're getting flooded with new bows year after year. I mean, new companies are putting things out, but they really haven't beaten the peak speeds that we see. And again, IBO speeds are the lightest grain weight arrow at the longest possible draw at 70 pounds. What is sticking out to you in the archery industry right now?
First I want to say real quick, that's very sad that Vicki's leaving. I just want to throw that in there. She has been a great person and has done a ton of work for that organization. So,
oh, yeah.
So I'll throw that out there that she will be sadly missed in Michigan. As far as speed goes, PSE, has done a lot with that. Obviously, Darton's been pretty good at trying to get high speeds, PSE, monster bows from Matthews. As far as speed goes, I'm not sure how much farther I see it going. We're hitting these max speeds over and over and over. But the problem with the speed is you're giving up brace height, you're giving up comfort, you're giving up the nice, valley. You're not really getting all that when you have to when you're trying to get speed out of a bow. So I think what we're going to find is people will probably start reverting back to the more comfortable bows, and because let's be honest, these bows, I could pick up a bow that I had when I was a kid and still kill a deer with it. It's not like it's going to change. Obviously there's speed differences, but, it's not like it won't work, and it depends how close you are, right? So, but the future of bows, I think it's going to get more and more to what's best with the cam systems, because really with these cam systems and what's happened, I think we're pretty much maxing out at this point. But we'll see. It's always a future here, and there's big companies in this industry who, put a lot of money into, R&D, and hopefully they can get more speeds with a more comfortable bow.
Now, earlier this week, my daughter and I were in the UP, had a great time up there, and we were coming back, stopped off in Grayling at a little place called Den Pizzeria in downtown Grayling. And I'm looking around, and I think they had every model of bear bow from like the Inception recurve to like the old whitetail hunter and everything else. Come to find out that it was a lot of this stuff was decorated with things from the old Fred Bear Museum that used to be in Grayling.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I mean, and you look at the progress. This is a place where you can go and see the progress of the compound bow. I mean, look, there were cams about the size of a quarter.
Yep.
Those things were loud and probably flew at the speed of smell, you know?
Yeah.
And to see what we have now is kind of incredible.
Absolutely. The things like, over these years, the changes, even you can see it right now a lot to crossbows. You could see when they started and where they're at right now with these cams. And I don't know if you've seen the cam they have on the, like Barnett Vengeance. I mean, it's a huge cam system. The Horton Fury, the cams are just getting so much larger because they're starting to take off at the compound. And, those cams have just really changed the way, we shoot bows, basically. With the speed and the comfort. The comfort, again, to me, is really important. But some people, they really want a bow that's super, super fast. And there's nothing wrong with that. Each consumer wants what they want. But, when you do that, you give up certain aspects.
Well, I agree with brace height. When you're the faster your bow goes, the faster you're also going to miss.
Oh, yeah. And the more, if your bow, usually with the smaller brace height, you have less flexibility when it comes to movement. So if you move too soon, you're going to throw the arrow off. It's not out of the chamber fast enough, because it has to go through it longer to get out of your riser. So, and like I said, different people, different ways. I personally like short bows. I like bows that are comfortable and short. For me, that's what I like to hunt with, but certain people want long bows because they feel they're more forgiving, more accurate. Some people like the 32-inch. I like a 30-inch, so I even like a shorter one. But, I'm a big tree stand hunter, and I feel like, when I'm going up and down, I want something small and light, and I can move around.
I agree with you completely. I shoot a short bow. I shoot a Martin Alien X. I love it. It's a short axle. It's got a shorter brace height, but, it's something that I've gotten used to. The dual cam system I absolutely love. And again, like you, shorter bows are great, but I know guys that like that long bow, that long axle. I'm like, ugh.
Yep. To me, it's just hard to navigate with it. That's all. That's
right.
My biggest beef with it is navigation purposes, it doesn't really work for me. I feel like I don't want to get anything tangled in my cams. I don't get nothing tangled in my limbs, in my gear. So, to me, it's smaller the better. Pulling up the tree, it's less stuff to hit. It's just, for certain people, like I said, that's just what they need or, what they feel is the best in bows. And, everybody's got a great opinion and everybody has the right to, get what they love.
Exactly. And finding, first and foremost, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, finding what works for you is always best.
That's the number one. I think a lot of times people say, what's the best bow? What's the best this? What's the best that? We don't ever really tell people that. We do our MCA awards each year, which you can see right on our Facebook page, Members' Choice Awards. And basically what that is the public opinion of who's doing the best in the bow companies, who's doing the best for everything. And all that really tells us is, what consumers, I guess it's more popularity, right? So, who do you really like? And then I ask on there, too, please consider, customer service and, warranty issues, so people can have a feel for the companies who are doing, the best they can. Right now, we are just inundated with new bows coming out. We are, at Tesla, it's crazy right now. We just got Parker. Parker sent us a crossbow and a compound. We got the White Spider in. We got Stevens Archery sending bows in. We got Obsession Archery sending bows in. So we're starting to see some of the new companies, and we're actually here finally getting a chance to test these things, like we hoped. And to be honest with you, they're all great bows. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I can tell you right now that just seeing videos on them previously and stuff like that, these bows will be just as good, if not better, than some of the premium brands. But what happens is, they don't have a marketing budget. You don't have, the background,
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying, do you rather buy a bow from a company that's been around 80 years or a company that's been around 1 year?
Right, well, yeah.
For warranty purposes.
Oh, no, that's completely understandable. And, when you see a familiar name, sometimes it's not always that company because this industry is so small, they're being bought up by bigger companies, and they at least have a little bit more to stand on as far as what they have to offer.
That's a great point. We saw that with Diamond. When Diamond was acquired by Bowtech, changed that company completely, having that behind it.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors out there. And again, if you want to find out any of this information, go right to our website, wildmichiganradio.com. There is a link to BowHunterPlanet.com. You can find out about David Thomas and the rest of the crew there that are tirelessly working to, kind of put the product out there in front of you, what it can do, what it can't do in the test lab. And again, man, I appreciate your help and your time.
Yeah, very good. Just real quick, Bruce, to throw this out there real quick, you guys are checking out backpacks this year. Check out Badlands. We did a lot of work with them. Top quality backpacks. you're looking at targets, we just finished some stuff with big shot targets, amazing targets. The arrows pull right out with your crossbow, which is absolutely amazing. So.
All right, Badlands and big shot targets, Badlands backpacks. Good stuff. We've seen them at the ATA show, and I'm looking forward to Nashville this year. Don't know,
me too.
Don't know how I'm going to pull it off, but I think I need to go research a couple days early.
Yeah.
Got a thing. Got to go to Nashville. Yeah, that's it. But as always, man, BowHunterPlanet.com, link to David Thomas and his crew right on the front page of our website. David, thank you so much for joining us here on Wild Michigan.
Thank you.
All right, everybody have a great weekend. Thanks again to Lucky Buck, also our friends at Lock and Load Hunting Blinds, and a big thank you to Vicki Warner at the Hiawatha Sportsman's Club from Wild Michigan.